Wonderful pistachios. Let me tell you something, dude. I got a box of these wonderful pistachios and yummy, yummy in my tummy, dude. I was covered in pistachio shells. I loved it. They've come out of their shells. They got the same delicious taste, but with a little less work for you. Less cracking, more snacking. They don't have the shells. They've de-shelled all the pistachios. So you're just eating just pure pistachio nuts. I loved it. Spice lovers go nuts. It's time to get spicy with wonderful pistachios' newest no shells flavor, jalapeno lime. My kids loved them. Like, legitimately loved them. They actually came to the house when I was on the road. They sent like 5 packages of it. When I got home, there was half a package left of pistachios because my kids were just little pistachio monsters. They're crazy. They're pistachio psychos. Next time you're shopping for snacks and you are craving something crunchy and satisfying, ditch the bag of chips and grab wonderful pistachios, no shells. Your body and taste buds will thank us. R.I.P. taste buds. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chrissy Chaos with me, Michael Shane Cannon. We have John, the father, Grady. Off camera, Vito, baby teeth Calise is still in Greece. I don't know what he's doing. And then we have John's twin brother, who looks nothing like him and who looks like someone who will kill a random jogger in the woods of Vermont.
He looks like John was given HGH to grow.
Yes. When we talked about that car accident, John talked about a car accident that he was in where he got thrown out of the back of a Winnebago and him and his twin brother slid into the woods and it was a near-death experience. You can tell which brother suffered worse. I could tell that John's twin brother, he's like, I'm fine. I just broke my spine. I'm like, buddy, you're an insane person. No, he looks good, and he's off. By the way, he's off camera, not smiling.
Yeah, he did start screaming when he started to move a couch.
Yes, I can see him. I'm looking at him right now, and he's deeply farting into Jasmine's chairs. So, what happened last week? A video of Jasmine came on the podcast, and a video of us went viral. And a lot of people were commenting. You know, it's funny to watch people comment that don't know anything about the podcast, don't even know me or Jasmine, and they're making all these things about what Jasmine's really feeling, what I'm really feeling. Like, there were clinical psychologists saying things on TikTok, and I'm like, are you a psych? You don't know us. What are you talking about? It's a comedy podcast. And so, Jasmine... Yeah. Okay. So Jasmine, and I had a conversation about that. I really... after it, we just spoke, and a couple of you guys have seen Jasmine in the streets after that, and she doesn't want to be on camera today because she got a dental surgery, right? That's why your face is swollen, right?
My face is swollen. I look like sexy Squidward
and it's swollen from the dental surgery, right?
He says while wearing workout gloves for the first time.
And it's from the dental surgery, right? Because you said that, you're just indifferent about me, right?
I never said that. Everybody else said that.
I'm kidding. I hope, please, somebody also make that a clip and let that go viral, that now, I'm insinuating that her face is swollen because I hit her and not the dental surgery. You people, listen, I would never comment on...
And I'm not supposed to say that I like that, right?
Right, and you're not supposed to say that she likes that, but meanwhile, that's the only way that anytime... we watch this show. One of the best shows we've ever seen in our life is a show called... is it Proven Innocent? What is it called on Apple TV?
Presumed
Innocent. We just started that. Yeah.
It is the best show I've ever seen.
So good.
It is unbelievable. Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. Unbelievable. There's a scene in the show where Jake gets a little handsy and a little abusive with his wife, and then she wants to have sex, Jasmine. That's what it is. She's like, why don't you ever touch me like that? I'm like, he literally is charged with murdering someone.
It's also a nice contrast from him because he has those weird kind of high cheekbone smiles, so he looks like a little boy, but then he's just, switches into man.
So it is why I've again we would never comment publicly on Instagram, but the podcast is the place to just have fun. And it's like some of the people commenting, making like YouTube like watch along videos and TikTok watch along videos. Like you're seriously like clinically insane. And some of them were actual therapists, and I'm like, isn't this?
But how do you know they're therapists? Let me see your license.
Because that's what the TikTok bio said.
Say that.
Yeah.
Good point. They could be the Dr. Phil of TikTok, where they're just kind of giving medical advice. I have a lot of friends giving out medical advice right now on
oh my
social
God,
media.
there were so many. But Jazz, you know, again, if you see her in the streets, just know it's a dental surgery.
Well,
is that why you didn't want to come on? Because you're embarrassed about that you're a little swollen from the dental implants?
Yeah, I don't want you to make fun of it.
I love that that's
Don't
the only
make fun of
implants
it.
I can get you to get now is dentals. You're like, you want me to get my implants back? I'm like, ooh, yeah. And then you fucking get new wisdom teeth.
He's been trying to get you this cock for years.
Look, is it time to play? Is this relationship healthy or doomed? Ooh, from my big personality.
Because I said
You're a fucking loser. I mean, what a stupid asshole. It's a comedy podcast. My cousin sent me one out.
God.
Here, I'm going to send you this one. I'm going to look at this idiot lady. Hold on. Her TikTok is "That's not love." Oof. That's not love.
I mean, isn't this just battle of the algo hunters?
Oh my God!
Like it has nothing to do with literally anything
it's
besides
like
tricking people.
legitimately pathetic. I just texted you, John. It's like legitimately. I mean, how did you feel, Jazz, at seeing all those? Like, what? How did you honestly feel as a woman?
I didn't read a lot of the comments. I read some of them. But I know there was a bunch of stuff on Twitter.
But like, what about the
I'm not
clips?
on
Like,
Twitter.
were you upset about the clip? Like,
I wasn't upset. I think it's because I said like I don't care. Like if you go somewhere or like, and people are taking that the wrong way.
Yeah, and people are saying because
like,
I'm watching ass clapping videos on
just
Instagram. It's like
I
it's a
don't
bit.
care.
This chinless ostrich
Look at this
is
lady.
a therapist.
Stop.
Yeah.
Aw, that's
Like,
so mean.
I'm sorry,
I
but
don't know
she's
if
putting
she's a
herself
I don't know
front and
if she's
center,
a-
commenting on your relationship.
Yeah.
I find that to be mean.
I don't know if she's a
That's
therapist,
true.
but it's like what it.
This white woman minotaur, like, come on.
Yeah, we're posting things because we're comedians and I have a comedy podcast, and then you're taking shit seriously. I'm wearing a Palestinian duck on my shoulder. Look at the fucking duck on my shoulder. I have a duck dressed like a Palestinian woman, and you're like, just watch it. Just watch it.
There should be some sort of internet governing system that goes through these and just removes people's, medical degree or just like their ability to practice. It's
Here we
crazy.
go. You could fast forward a little too, because this is just a clip that we've seen. But this is what it's going to be in Kamala's America. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's got to work on those.
Look here,
nicknames.
let's listen. She looks like Jordan Jensen.
Now I feel bad.
It's indifference because why would I care?
Why?
Right? That to me is worse than hate, in my opinion. That's my honest. I feel like this woman. I don't know these people, and some people said this in the comment section. I feel like that.
Can you pause real quick? I just have a quick
I feel
thing.
like this woman is done with men. Oh, she's saying, she's saying,
Who is
lesbian.
this person?
Are you a lesbo?
What the hell?
Are you a lesbo?
I don't know
do
yet,
like that.
but-
At least she said, I don't know these people. At least she
No,
prefaced
yes,
that. I
you
respect
don't.
that.
Yeah, but there's
so then
also
why
this
is she so serious?
There's
Like,
that's the thing. There's a moment in a lot of internet content where this woman almost paints herself out as the victim, where she has to comment. She just can't let
Right,
this go.
she's
Like she's
feeling
literally, it's just my honest opinion that literally nobody asked for.
Right.
Not one human being told you to look at this clip and give you your opinion on this relationship that you don't know either of the parties.
Here, let's just play. Just give her the mic. Let's just play two more. We have to get something where we can like play audio. How do we do that? Like this. Oh.
I'm done with men. Does not care. I don't know why they're together. I mean, maybe they have a great relationship. I mean, he loves looking at other women online. You know, I'm sure they have a great relationship. What he's doing at all. She's also not interested in having any relationship with any man, allegedly, apparently, according to that little.
Yeah, she's a big lesbo.
The comments said he did something, and now she's done. She's
Yep.
checked out. And in my honest opinion, that is what it reads. That's
Yeah.
what it looks like.
Yep.
When
Yeah, right. That is. Yeah.
When I want the truth for a
Yeah.
social media video, I go straight to the comments.
Yeah, from an edited YouTube clip. That's
you know
what it is.
She's right. You know, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what it is.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with you. I'm done with men.
Well, you said that the only way out of this
She's made me
relationship is
realize the truth.
if I'm with a guy and you're with a girl. So why don't we just give the people what they want and let's get gay?
Dude, if you guys tucked it back and
Yeah.
released some sort of "we're now a lesbian couple,"
Be great.
That'd be good stuff.
All right, so you want
This is all because I said like I don't care.
right.
And when I say I don't care, it just means I'm not going to stress over things anymore.
Yeah.
But just know that if you really did have girls' asses on your phone, that phone's going right out the window. Okay?
Does that include the explore page?
John, can you delete my search history
Yeah.
remotely?
Yeah.
The explore page is nobody's fault. Listen, they're trying to get every dude
Those
in some sort of
algorithms,
digital
it's
prison.
coming up for a reason.
It's
You're looking at
crazy. None of that
something.
stuff I've sought out. I have girls
Yeah.
in yoga pants. Like, I mean, I love that my jokes. I'll bleep the word jizz, and my account will get throttled for 8 months.
Right.
And somebody will do yoga in like see-through leggings with the full McDonald's symbol,
Yeah.
showing through their pants, and they have 400 million
Honestly,
likes.
dude,
It's like, all right.
if you want to go viral right now, all
Yeah.
you got to do is do a comedy clip, and then at the end of it, burn the American flag. What? And you'll have 100 million views.
While I'm Wu-Tang sawing off
Yeah.
my dick.
Jazz. So, all right, I know your mouth hurts. Sorry.
Those gloves look so stupid.
These are Jasmine's workout gloves. You see, how could we be having problems when we're sharing each other's workout gloves? But what do you think of that woman's assessment?
I mean, she has a point. You know, I think we're done. I think I'm done with men.
All right, good.
That's it.
So it's over.
I'm done. I guess I'm a lesbian because she said so.
Nice.
What would your ideal woman be?
My ideal woman.
Imagine she just describes Mike Cannon.
Is it a bulkier lady? Like, would you find a woman that fit more to Chris's body type?
No. She would have to be like very feminine.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
You know who I think you're honestly into? I think you're into black women. I think you really like black women. You're always commenting how beautiful like different black women are. I think that's your type.
This is almost a no-win for you to
I don't
comment
think
on.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. John pulled up a picture of Oprah Winfrey and Jasmine sliding off her chair.
She is beautiful.
Yeah.
Ozempic
But no, I don't know
Winfrey.
if I have like a preference like that.
All right. So before you go, I know you got to go. So what's your one last comment on this 30 million viral
No, I
thing?
don't want to comment about it because people are just going to twist words and be like, "Oh, she
No,
didn't
but
look at
it's
the
not.
camera."
It's not twisting words. It's your words from you as the woman. What?
They're gonna
What are you gonna say?
no, they're gonna twist.
You
what I
want
say
another
anyway,
dental
so who gives a
implant?
shit?
I'm joking.
I mean,
Well, honestly.
I did see some comments saying that you don't know. Obviously, you don't know these two. You haven't
Sure.
followed them, so you're way off. And you're right, guys. You are way off.
Those are from John's burner accounts.
Trying to sway the algorithm.
I paid John $400. I'm like, listen, dude, just sit in your room all day with your weird brother and make accounts and just comment on everything. Dude,
It's like you're trying to sway the betting lines.
yeah. I
right.
tried to steal the election.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right, love you. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
All right.
Oh, no, you can't say it like that.
Why?
You have to say "I love you"
Oh,
because then people
sorry.
are gonna read into that.
Sorry, I love you.
Yeah, taking off the eyes.
I love you. All right, listen, I hope everyone's horny. We're talking about sex right off the bat, and I wanted to bring in a very special guest. You know, a lot of times we have comedians on and we have, all these other people and it's fun, but I want to bring somebody who is been a friend of mine for 20 plus years.
Friend of mine now for like 5 to 10, I would say.
Friend of Mike's.
Yeah.
On the old podcast History Hyenas, we used to have James, Lil Debo, the Squeak come on. It's part of this crew. It's got, we got Lil Debo, the Squeak, we got Patty Fly Balls, and then the third member of that group, of the group chat, is my boy Chris the Worm Calaviotis. Now, Chris is one of these guys. He's got a really interesting backstory. I mean, first of all, he's like a legendary New York City graffiti artist, okay? He's an only child just like me, a Greek freak, and he was working in the sex crimes unit of the NYPD for years, and he has a lot of wild NYPD police stories, and hopefully he bought his gun. Chris, come on in. Got Chris Calaviotis, everybody. We just worked out together. Look at Chris, everybody.
Forest Hills, baby.
Yes, Forest Hills. That's not where we live, though. You can't say. All right, we're good? Is he, yeah, hold on. We've got to just make sure.
We got to get walk-on music.
For Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play like something. We'll play the intro to My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Chris,
Hi, guys.
what's up, bro? What do you think about the Me and Jazz viral clip?
I mean, 30 million views. It's working.
Not bad, right? It's not bad. Not bad. Now, Chris, also, too, another good thing about Chris, sometimes these wild conspiracy videos I have or conspiracy things we talk about on the pod comes from Chris. So hopefully at the end of the pod, maybe he's got a good one, a new one for us. All right. So you were, what was the actual unit?
So
is the mic close enough to him, by the way? Just bring it close enough.
It wasn't actually a sex crimes unit.
So what was it? Tell us.
It was an undercover pickpocket unit. But pickpockets work the same way someone who's going to do something sexual would do. So a lot of times, basically, let me preface it. What I would do is I'd be out there like this, just like out.
Just a skell, dressed like a queen skell.
Pretty much, just be out there in the street, walk around Manhattan. Mostly, a lot of the stuff was in Manhattan. So we would get sent out, you know, wherever you want, go down to wherever the parks, a lot of hotbeds for pickpockets. Pickpockets work, they have to get close to you. So they get close to you, they dip in your bag, they distract you. There's a lot of things they do, you know, to steal your stuff. But from that, perverts do the same shit. So a lot of times we're out there looking for pickpockets, but we're actually getting perverts. Which is, there's probably in Manhattan, there's way more perverts than there is pickpockets.
So you're saying in Manhattan right now, today, random day, there's perverts all over the city?
Yes.
Well, that's what I was going to ask is like, because cash is like less, people don't carry it around as much, is pickpocketing kind of becoming an extinct crime?
It's a dying breed of like the old school pickpockets, which is like the old Harlem cats that were like trained, and it's a little different now where they'll take your
The Foot Clan. Trained in silence.
They'll take like your wallet for credit cards now, and your phone. They'll sell your iPhone. They'll dip your card, and now what they'll do is they'll take your card immediately and then go burn it.
Oh wow!
At like the stores before you even realize that something happened.
Right.
But it's definitely slowed down as far as like the old school style pickpockets.
But perverts have not slowed down.
No.
They're ramping up.
No. That's never going to go away.
Now, well, we're going to get to specific stories, but some general questions. Perverts, are there glory days? Is it the summer or the winter? When do they really shine?
A little bit of both. It's definitely the summer.
Yeah.
Because they can wear lighter clothes and they can get, you know, a lot of times you'd see guys would walk around with no shirt on, basketball shorts with no underwear.
There you go.
Wow.
So you get
That's what Mike Cannon does that regularly.
Dude, I literally just posted a picture yesterday from 10 years ago of me very clearly wearing basketball shorts as underwear on stage under my pants. It's pretty brutal.
You see the stand.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, I understand now it's like, you know, the guys can get more perverted now because the women are wearing less, but isn't it easier to conceal you being a pervert in the winters in New York City?
Well, there's like different kinds of perverts. So the pervert that wants to wear basketball shorts to basically get a feel is what they're going to do is they're going to get behind you like a pickpocket would, and then kind of just, because they've probably been arrested for it before, so they kind of know the laws. You can stand behind somebody with a boner, and if they back up into you, it's kind of like no harm, no foul.
The old like, 8th grade, will you have the stance?
Right. But, and a lot of these guys, one backup, that's it. They'll explode.
Yeah, I mean, they dedefinitely nut.
It depends how long they've been edging.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so that's sick. Is that there's people that we would have a team, and like so you'd see this person in the, you know, let's say the guy in the basketball shorts, Mike, and he'd be,
let's call him Mike.
He'd be like in, you know, a parade. Perfect place to do it. You go to a parade, there's this guy, he's looking at, you know, it's like, say it's like the Indian parade and it's like a white guy and he's like in there like really enjoying the show and he's just standing behind people and you're like, what is this guy gonna take a bag? Is he gonna take some? No, he's just standing there because like when the excitement happens and people like back up, he's just there kind of like just like taking it. You know? Yeah. That's like one of the,
you know what's a good place to do that in? Comedy clubs.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to squeeze into their seat. You could literally just drag your dick across 8 backs before you get to your chair.
Well, that's like Jazz. Remember when we were in Atlantic City, Jasmine and I, this was maybe 10 years ago, and they had a parade coming down the Atlantic City boardwalk of all women showing their feet. Remember that, Jazz? The Show Your Feet parade?
Yes.
Here, take the microphone for a second. Oh, you have anything to say? Okay, she doesn't have anything to say. She's mad at me. But they would say, these guys, it was like, we were just sitting there like, what is this? And then guys would be like, show your feet. Let me see that foot, Miss Hawaii. Let me see that foot. And then they put their foot up and they go, yeah. But then we noticed there was a couple of guys not just kind of standing there in the back. And we were like, what are they standing like? Like they have their hands over, like, are they security or whatever? But I bet you now, when I think back, I'm like, they were sitting there just rubbing their dicks,
literally like
looking at women's
pressing the
feet.
heel of their hand onto their
feet,
dick.
just looking.
They were edging.
They were so that's a big thing that what these perverts do is they edge themselves and then they just wait for that one moment.
Exactly. They find that perfect. It's like if you're going through Pornhub.
Right.
You're 6 pages deep, and then all right, let me go back to that 3rd page.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Couple tabs. You
So
rotate.
they're doing that, but in the street. And they also, so a lot of these guys, they get off on the excitement of it.
Right.
So like they know that they could definitely possibly get caught. They could definitely get beat up by someone's husband or something.
They
like
want that.
It's part of the thrill.
I come out, somebody's edging themselves to Jasmine. I come out, start beating them up. They're coming all over me.
And then you come.
That's their defense.
And then so because for me it's like, that you're on the pickpocket unit, that so there is no like division of the NYPD that's looking specifically for this. You guys just find it while looking for other things.
Well, there is like a sex crimes unit, which would be like special victims, but they're not like out on the street. Like they'll get it like after. So if someone gets caught and like they call the police and the police come, like let's say he gets held down by the husband or whatever, then they'll come and arrest him, and then they'll come and like kind of handle it after the fact. But like on the street, they really, especially nowadays, they don't even have those units anymore. The department's very changed and stuff like that.
I have a question because I've jerked off to some questionable internet stuff and right afterwards shut my computer and pretended it never happened. Has anybody that have come publicly ever expressed like that post-nut clarity and been like, dude, I don't know what just happened. I was in momentary psychosis based on horniness. I'm sorry. That was crazy.
No. Well, usually they don't, they know that the possibility to get caught's there.
Yeah.
But they don't really expect it. So like if they nut, well, it's very detailed. So like that's another part of like the perverts in the world. So if you're jerking it openly, and your dick is out, that's automatically a crime.
Sure.
So you're not, if you saw that and there's a guy doing that and he's openly jerking, and you would stop him then before like he comes on somebody.
Yeah.
Which happens all the time. So like, but like you would stop it because that's public lewdness.
Wait, people somebody gets cummed on all the time?
It happens a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
So
The
it's
subway, the subway is a hotbed. It's always been.
And again, you've been retired now for how many years?
4.
4 years. So in the 4 years you've been retired, the laws have gotten even more lax in New York.
I don't know if I don't know if those kind of laws have gotten lax, but the prosecution has gotten lax.
So meaning like you'll arrest like you used to be able, you arrest those guys and they're in jail for a little while. Now you arrest them, they're right back out jerking it on everybody.
So like surprisingly,
the whole city's covered in cum.
Surprisingly, like the public lewdness charge is a low charge. You would think it's like crazy, but it's a very low misdemeanor. So
I could go out in Queens Boulevard, jerk it on someone, splooge it off the back of somebody's calf, and be out of jail tomorrow.
Yeah, but if you thought that Jasmine clip went viral,
pretty much. It's like a low level misdemeanor.
Well, there was that video. I think it was on the internet, and then we gave it in the group chat of like the guy. I forgot what city they were in, maybe
Philly.
Philadelphia,
Philly,
where he came on her, and she's like, "That motherfucker just came on me."
Folks, this podcast episode is brought to you by Pestie. Pestie is a do-it-yourself pest control company on a mission to provide pro-grade pest control products at an affordable price so you can say hello to savings and bye to bugs at a fraction of the cost. Wow, this is still the same sentence. It's at a fraction of the cost of most pest control companies. With Pestie, there's no more waiting all day for the bug guy to show up when you can spray it yourself in a few minutes. This is huge for me because, listen, I'm out here in the woods. I'm dealing with a bunch of bugs that I have no idea how to even identify them, let alone take their lives. They're huge and they look like they mean business. So now, instead of calling in my armed guard of a wife, my alpha male Italian woman of a wife, I go to Pestie because Pestie takes care of the pests. While other pest control companies charge hundreds of dollars and make a one-size-fits-all plan, Pestie makes a customized treatment plan for you based on your location, bugs, and climate. I mean, what's better than that? Plus, the specific chemicals are rotated so that bugs don't build up tolerances, which make it more effective over time. That's the first time I'm learning about bugs gaining tolerance. What are they, me with edibles? Are you kidding? They eat a 200 milligram pellet of cyanide and bugs are like, I could do stand up right now. That's terrifying to consider. Possibly the best part, Pestie is kid and pet friendly, so you do not have to worry about your kids or pets around Pestie. Plus, Pestie minimizes the risk to pollinators like bees and butterflies and reduces the negative impact of pesticides on the environment. So you're not only getting rid of your pests, but you're doing good for the good environment around you. So guys, Pestie offers a 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. That's insane. Seriously, they will refund you if you aren't happy with Pestie. So now is the time to protect your home from bugs for less with Pestie. Head to pestie.com. That's pestie.com/chaos and use code chaos for an extra 10% off your order. Once again, that's pestie.com, pestie.com/chaos, code chaos for an additional 10% off. And make sure, guys, make sure you tell them I sent you. We sent you. Chaos. Pestie. People often throw shade on renting, calling it a bad long-term deal. But what if I told you that with Bilt Rewards, your rent isn't just paying the landlord, it's secretly plotting to fund your future dream home? Bilt's got the inside scoop on turning your rent into a legit investment in your home ownership journey. This couldn't be more for me, folks. Bilt is breaking ground as the first rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Even if you're still rocking the old school rent check vibes, Bilt Rewards has got your back. They'll mail the check for you. It's like having a personal rent-paying assistant. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Bilt points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacay. Put your points towards a flight or hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. That's a lot of hotels and properties. Use your points to sweat it out. Redeem your points to book fitness studio classes. That's what they meant by that. Man, am I stupid for jumping to conclusions. You can also use your points toward a future rent payment or toward a future down payment on a home. Pay rent hassle-free through Bilt Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Bilt points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. Folks, earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbilt.com. That's joinbilt.com/chaos. Again, joinbilt.com/chaos. joinbilt.com/chaos. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbilt.com/chaos. Do it today. Gain points by paying your rent.
Dude, he was wearing like a shirt that said like "lick my ass, happy to see you" or something like that. It was a fucking lunatic
That one was
shirt.
good. It got media attention, so I'm sure they're gonna find other ad charges to that one.
But that guy, if he does get caught for that one specific act, could be out of jail in a day.
yeah,
Wow.
But now a lot of those guys that do that it's not their first rodeo.
Got it.
Like they've been arrested before.
Right.
So the coming on people, like I'll tell you where not to go.
John, what's your brother's name again? Paul's taking notes over here. Why does Paul have had a pen and paper? Paul's like,
He's trying to see how not to get arrested.
yeah. Paul's like,
His arm
by the
is
way, of
pressing
all of us
down.
in this room right now, you as a cop, who's the closest? Just look, pervert. Wow, John. John the father. You guys, if you were like, hey, somebody in this room's a pervert, you and your trained cops, you got eyes on him.
If I saw him in basketball shorts standing behind a girl, I'd watch.
Pervert.
Yeah.
You would say to Jazz, Miss Caniolas, you might want to step away from this guy.
Yeah. Well, so it's funny. That is where it gets real tricky. So
Right.
we used to always try to have a female on our team with us
Right.
at all times because now Okay, so here's a place you don't go with kids or your wife. I know it's gonna sound weird, but don't go to the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
Whoa. Okay, tell us why.
It's a hotbed. The amount of that stuff that goes on in there is mind blowing.
Really?
So And that's the
We're
worst.
sitting there taking a holiday picture, and we're standing in cum.
I've many arrests out of there.
That's
I'm
not
talking
snow?
many about people in there coming on people's backs, and this is where it gets.
Whoa.
This is where
So
it gets weird.
So take us through it. Tell us how it happens.
So okay,
is the mic close enough to him, John?
We'd always be there. We would get assigned to Rockefeller Center Christmas tree for like the month because it's packed.
Right.
You know how it is there. You can't even Fifth Avenue. They have to shut it down now.
Now, a sign there looking for pickpockets.
Pickpockets.
Okay.
Pickpockets. So, which is also a hotbed in there again because there's a lot of factors. You have all tourists for the most part that don't know anything. They're here. They're, oh my God, looking at the tree. It's
Prime jerk-off targets.
Prime jerked off targets.
Yeah.
It's packed to the gills. Packed to the gills. So you could stand behind somebody, and if you have a coat, what they would do is they would have like one arm like not in the sleeve. So now they got their coat open and they're standing behind you, this arms, and they're kind of just like, looking at the tree, taking in the sights, but they're cranking.
Do they ever put a glove at the end of the sleeve so it looks like their arms in it?
Guys wear condoms sometimes.
Really?
So they don't spray.
Yes, guys wear condoms sometimes.
That's smart.
Right, it's nice, actually.
Jasmine
yeah.
said that's considerate off camera.
Smart.
So a guy that's wearing a condom has probably been arrested for it before. And now knows that. So
Do you have this
Jazz,
already?
and by the go ahead.
This is just like a dumb. I know Batman or whatever, but do you have like once somebody gets arrested for cumming, do you have their cum sample now on file to where you can beep boop beep and get it?
Certain crimes like that, if they've had a prior, if they come on somebody, the district attorney's probably going to take their DNA.
Okay.
Not with the cum though, but with their mouth.
Gotcha.
But we would
You're
have
going
to
to make them come in their mouth?
No, well, if you were the DA,
Swab
maybe.
the inside of my mouth with your dick.
That would be your specialty if you were the DA.
Oh yeah, I'd just be sucking everybody off. So wait, so they got the big jackets, they got the hands, and they're jerking it, and they have a condom. But some of them want you to. I thought a thing was they want you to know. The way that they come is they know that you're looking at them, and that's what excites them.
Like a power
That's a
thing.
flasher.
Okay.
The flashers get off on that. They're like walking down a block and they're just like, bing.
Yeah, and then bang.
They just do that all day. They get off on you seeing it. Like guys will pull up in cars, like it happens in the neighborhoods, not much in the city, because in the cars they'll pull up and the girls like are walking to school in high school, and then the guys are sitting there. I'm sure Jazz has heard about this.
Can you 1 second if you're standing there? Have you ever had an encounter like this or a guy doing anything like that in your years?
I don't even know how many guys have tried to rub up on me in the subway. It's disgusting on trains.
Really?
I've seen so many penises that I didn't ask to see.
Really?
Yes, guys will like cut
Bigger
a
or
hole
smaller than
out
mine?
of their pants and just sit on the train so you can like see their
You've
penis.
seen that?
I've seen that.
Okay.
And then I had this older guy, way older. I was walking to high school, and he was in a convertible, and he drives by me, he goes, "You have nice dick-sucking lips."
Whoa.
And I was in high school. I was like in my sophomore year, and I've never forgotten that. Like, I was
Jesus.
disgusted.
Yeah.
And could you still like have his face in your head?
Not really.
Was
I
it
know
a
he had
nice
like
car,
gray
though?
hair.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the car. I started running to school. I don't know.
I don't remember what kind, but comfortable seats.
Comfortable
I
seats.
know. But the train, yeah, that's the most.
Is that why you
I
stopped?
felt guys like rub up on me, and they'll just like
I've
stand there.
I've
and I
seen the
have to,
cutting
like,
out
move.
thing before. I
Yeah.
actually had a neighbor who used to dress like a Rottweiler in a full Rottweiler outfit, pretend he was a dog, had his dick cut out of the costume, and would piss on trees.
Oh my God.
Me and my friend
neighbor?
Timmy were 10 years old, would walk back and forth from my house to Nicole's house to his house, and he lived right next door to Nicole's, and he'd be at the fence in a Rottweiler mask with like just black clothes and his cock out, and just kind of and then would piss on a tree and just go back in his house.
Go back inside.
Yep.
Did
Did you ever report it?
Yeah, a lot.
and
He ended up getting hospitalized.
Yeah, it was like that. It's mine.
Yeah.
Did that, Jazz? Because you're not the type of girl who like lets that stuff slide. Did you like physically like push people off you, or what do you do? Or are you just like
No, I would just move.
right, not say anything?
I wouldn't say anything. No.
Right. Yeah, I mean the I feel like you.
The guy with the hole, though, I was like cursing him out, and then I walked away.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous about that though? Like, is that why you walk away? Because just the idea of confronting that brings about potential more conflict.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think, I don't think you want to be in that situation where you're so close to a person, they can just like do worse, like grab you or
Totally.
like, I don't know. You just get away from that.
Right.
You don't know. Obviously, they're not right in the mind.
Right.
Like if they think they can just like push up on you and put their shit on you.
Right.
So you stay away from that
Right. Yeah. So
because
I
they're
mean,
crazier than I am.
well, do you want to go to the Christmas tree this year?
I'll I'll come with you guys.
Yeah,
I ran into you there with my family, actually.
He was watching you.
Dude, he was
How
literally-
funny is that? You're like, you just coincidentally ran into him. Meanwhile, he's staking you out. He's like, look at this. He's on
This
the
guy's
radio.
got a fake baby. He's got a fake baby.
Did you guys really see him? Did you see him down
I
there?
remember that. Yeah. I
And
remember
we
that.
ran into him on McDougal that one time. You
remember
and
that
I
one too,
walking
yeah.
down, and you guys were just dressed totally normal, and you're like, yo. And we looked over, and we're like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah, we
You're
were
like, yeah,
looking
we're
at
looking for
Washington
Bro,
Square
one
perverts.
time I was a physical therapist, this is, 10, 12 years ago. I'm walking to get lunch. All of a sudden, undercover car speeds up. I thought they were going to like drive the car.
We used to have a taxi cab.
Yeah, taxi cab. I thought they were going to drive it into like I thought it was like a guy out of control. They slam on the brakes and he jumps right out. He's undercover like in this taxi cab with these two sergeants. I'm like, what the? I thought this guy was going to kill himself. I didn't know. And he's like, yo, you want to jump in and get lunch? And then I just drove her in the back of the car and we got lunch. It was pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Okay, so was there actual an incident? Like, tell us like a
Well, let
Rockefeller.
me just tell you
Go
something
ahead.
that's creepy with the tree. So
All right, go ahead.
what happens? The reason why we need to have a female. So let's just say some tourist from Sweden or whatever is here with their family. They're loving the tree, and we happen to walk up, and there's the guy like just came on her. We got the guy now. We got the guy, but you need to have the victim. So now you have to imagine going up to somebody and saying, "Excuse me, ma'am, this guy over here just came on your back."
Just shot a
Right.
rope.
And so now,
What would you say professionally?
Well,
Ejaculated on your back?
yes, I'm sorry to say this. It sounds really weird. I'm a police officer. I would be like this.
Yes.
And I'd be like,
You're like, I look like a sexual
Yeah.
criminal, but I am a police
I
officer.
didn't do it, but this guy right there.
You fix your
And
zipper
then
as you're telling her.
they'd be like freaked out. The husband would come over. The husband's now pissed off. Like,
course.
what's this? What the fuck is this about? And that's why the girl would kind of like soften the blow and be able to speak to the woman.
Right.
And he'd be like, look, if you want, you could look at the back of your jacket. And then like there's,
And then they would be
they're
mortified.
Mortified. Sometimes like people wouldn't even want to be involved, like freaked out and like run away, like not want to
Yeah.
deal with it.
They don't even want, and then you can't prosecute. Then this guy got away with it.
Well, you get him for the lesser charge, which would be like the public lewdness for his dick being out.
Got it.
So I forget what the other charges are with like the fluids and stuff like that. It like kind of makes it like a higher.
It's like a
thing.
weapon, right? Isn't it considered a bioweapon?
I forget. I don't remember now. It's a while ago now. I don't remember the exact charge, but you still get him for that. But you want to like get him for like what he actually.
So have you
did.
ever had like did this ever happen? Like specifically, you had to go up to a family and do this?
Oh well, yeah, a lot. You have to because you got to tell the person that this happened. And again, it's imagine like you're just there on vacation and like some guy taps you on the shoulder and is like, "Hey, I'm a police officer. I look like this." I'm like, some guy just ejaculated on your back.
You got more than an I Love New York
Oh my
t-shirt.
god.
So
Damn.
that's like one of the hard parts of like getting the victims. It's hard to believe. It's
Right.
like something that you would never believe.
And
Like,
it
what?
literally, and it's wild that like before, you told me this before I knew you, like I would never even think that that's happening because most times you go into Rockefeller, you have no incidents. But if you so you're saying if we were there, if we stood in Rockefeller Center, Christmas tree, if I just stood there for 5 hours, I'd see something.
If you want to go, we'll film it and we'll point them all out.
Yeah, I'll go in there with goggles.
Let's do a man on the street.
Yes.
That's the new man on the street where we just run up on dudes jerking off. Like, quick, why?
Why?
What are
Yeah,
you doing?
Like
What are you
Billy
thinking
on the
of?
street. Yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, 100% will find them in there.
Wow.
No question.
Shit, bro. So was there ever one where like, and do a lot of times when you catch these guys, do they run? Do they try to get out of there? Or
Not really. They kind of just like freaked out in the moment because like, you said like post-nut clarity, but now, now all of a sudden you're fucking getting grabbed by a couple people.
It's also hard. It's also hard for you to track this because I'm sure plenty of people get away with it because you can't watch everybody.
Oh yeah, it's only a small group of people that are out there for the. Again, now I don't know if they even have that anymore. I'm not sure. I think they have the pickpocket team still. I don't know what they do.
So your advice is do not go to the Rockefeller Center
That's
Christmas
wild.
tree.
It's,
or if you're gonna go with a poncho.
Every time I do, I usually do have zip up pants like for my pockets and shit because I do think about that, or I keep my hands in my pockets. But
Well, the thing that I like, the thing I've always respected about Mike is he will go to the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, even when he's with his family. He would never disrespect another person like that. He just goes with his fleshlight. He's just, everything is happening into the fleshlight, which, let me ask you a question, technically.
Right.
If he's in there, same situation, arm, scheme, whatever, but he's got his dick out, but it's inside the fleshlight, and he's just sitting there rubbing it. His dick is not exposed, it's in the fleshlight. Is he committing public lewdness, or is he just, what's the rule there?
If you want to do it.
Yes,
and
Paul,
so
dude, Paul's pen is on fire right now.
if you do exactly that just in your pants, there's no crime.
Actually, there's no crime.
wow.
No.
Yeah, because that's the truth. Because what if I had a condition where when I get around, my senses are all messed up and I just cum in my pants 5 times a day? I mean, I can't prevent that.
Right,
It's not
no,
a crime.
it's not a crime.
Just drip and cum down my leg.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a hands-free thing. You should have a fleshlight on some sort of bungee harness and just jump up and
Every
down
step
until
you
you
take.
come. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, yeah, if you see any of these guys out there with VR goggles, you know they're jerking.
And Oculus at the trees.
Here we go. New York penal law. That's funny. Penal. $245 fine for public lewdness.
No,
That's
that's the charge.
it?
That's the charge.
What does that mean?
245. That's like the state.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was a fine. So what is most likely public? You commit public lewdness tonight. Are you out of jail tomorrow?
Yeah.
100%. In and out.
Yeah.
But do you have to register then as like a sex offender?
No.
At what
Wow.
point do they add up?
Yeah, when
I
do you
think-
get registered as a sex offender?
I think after like a few times, or like the touching. Now when you're like touching, so basically if you go into a hole of some sort, then that becomes, now you get like a real sexual assault.
Got it.
So
Right.
like if you like put your finger into a girl.
Yeah.
or a
So it
guy,
says
whatever.
if you intentionally expose your private parts, such as your penis, buttocks, or vagina, in a lewd manner in a public place, such as a city street or on a public bus, or you do some sort of lewd act, such as masturbation, that's what qualifies. So let me ask you. So what happens? What about this now? Let's say, it's a hot summer day. I have some, I ate, Mexican food the night before, and I have the itchiest asshole you can imagine. I'm itching my asshole up and down 3rd Avenue, but it's only for me. I'm just walking doing it. Is that considered lewd?
Is your ass out?
My ass is not up, but my hand is down my pants, finger in my asshole.
Down. Yeah.
But I'm itching my ass, like, because I have to.
Down your pants, you're good.
So if I itch my ass through, like if I'm just through my khakis itching my ass.
You're good.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Now, what about that? You ever seen asshole fingers or anything like that?
So I have arrested a guy and he was like known, this guy. So he was like a 6'4" businessman.
Oh.
But he would take off his
What?
bottom. He would take off his bottom pant half and have like all these weird.
Formal Winnie the Pooh.
He would have like weird stuff on. So the day that I got this guy, I got him a couple times actually. But the day, because he was once you would see him on, like, he would always walk like 5th Avenue, and he was big on like standing in front of a Starbucks window and just standing there where like top business.
Right.
And he would just move the stuff away. He could carry like one of those man bags.
Yeah.
And just stand in front of the window and look in as people are sitting out looking at the window and just have his dick out. And he had a big dick.
Wow.
But this guy was sick. I was by Bryant Park one day.
This is the same guy.
This is the same guy. And I see him, and I'm like, oh shit, I forget his name. Like, there's this guy.
So, by the way, as a cop, you and your friends see him. Once you see him, you're not letting him out of your sight. You're following him for a little bit.
I was by myself. So
Did he have different suits?
He was kind of. I don't think he really worked. I think he was like a scout.
Now,
Yeah.
is that because on your end, you know that he's a sex offender guy, whatever. If you just see him in the street and you're on duty, you have every right to just follow him around.
Well, you can follow anybody you want.
It doesn't matter.
I would just walk. We would just walk around and running. The best way to find stuff is really when you're not really looking for it. If you're going super hard to find something, you kind of fuck
Just on a
yourself up.
stroll.
If you just do your normal life and walk, that's when you find all these things because it just comes to you. Like so,
Got it.
I see them because I'm in the right areas. I was by Bryant Park, which is another hotbed. It's every park is a hotbed. Union Square, forget it.
Can't wait.
I see him. And I'm looking and I'm like, holy shit, like he has like boy soccer shorts on, but the whole back is cut up. Right?
Oh.
So he's walking up by Bryant Park and he's fingering his ass.
Like,
Exposed.
Which hand?
Ass.
I think it was his right hand reaching back.
Interesting. So full asshole, ass cheeks wide out.
Cheeks out, fingering his asshole. Just
Full hospital gown,
walking
like open.
bro.
Yeah, wow.
Walking down the block. And I remember I was like, fuck.
Fingers up his ass.
Yes.
People, broad daylight.
I remember he was like twisting.
Flexible
He was
wrist.
like twirling and like twirling, and he had a good motion. He was like going like this and this.
Whoa.
So I'm like, fuck, I got it. This is public lewdness.
You're
now.
by yourself.
By myself. So I call my boss. I say, you're not gonna believe this. I said, I got this guy that we know. I forget his name now. And I'm like, you got to get over here. Get the guys over here now in the cars because he's fingering his ass on 41st Street. And my boss is like, what? He's like, you serious? I'm like, yeah, he's fingering his ass. He's like, all right, stay with him. They come. He fucking loaded the back seat with plastic because the guy, I'm like, I'm like, his ass is out too.
Yeah.
And I grabbed him up and like had a,
You grabbed him knowing that his shit fingers are everywhere.
I had to do it.
So
yeah.
did he get it? Did he get him near you?
No. The thing is, we have like the.
Imagine Dirty Sanchezing a cop.
Oh my God! You feel like that?
I've had a guy piss at me to try to get away.
Wow.
He was pissing and then he turned around.
This guy took a bag one time from the park It was actually also Bryant Park. He took someone's bag. People lay out there in Bryant Park, if you know, like the Great.
That's got to be assault on an officer, right? Like that's.
It didn't get on me, but he turned around and pissed at me to like try to like make me not.
That's crazy.
Grab him.
That's.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he wasn't a pervert. He was a thief.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, I want to talk about him next. But so the asshole guy, you get him, you arrest him. What does he say when you arrest him?
He was nuts. It was just like he was pretending like he didn't know what was going on. But again, he's standing there in cuffs with his ass out.
Right.
Like
imagine
with the top, he's dressed.
Imagine you show us a picture of him. It's Vito, who's on his honeymoon right now,
and that's not on his honeymoon.
I mean, he just knew that this was happening because I can't go and see him again.
I mean, there's definitely a picture of it. I have a picture of it.
Okay, so he fingers his ass. You guys, you have the tarp down. You get him in the back seat, and then are you guys like honestly? Are you guys like kind of laughing?
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Like, and again, like this is something so like minute in like the overall of the police department that like most people in the police department wouldn't even like understand that this is going on out there.
Right.
Or that there's guys out there that are like making these arrests.
Right.
It's like such a small,
Like a specialty unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would never. The regular cop isn't going to be privy to that because they're in uniform mostly, and they're kind of just answering the radio jobs, and they're just busy.
Yeah, but if that guy's fingering his ass, twirling his asshole around past a uniform cop, he's going to get arrested for that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if it was open, like if you drove
Did he
past
smell?
it,
Did his ass smell
he
everywhere?
was kind of homeless, kind of like I don't know. I think he might have been homeless.
That brings a good question though, because I've definitely seen public crimes in front of cops, and they don't do anything. Like, is that because it's a certain unit for a certain crime?
No, that's just depending on the situation. I don't know.
Yeah, because I've definitely
Situation.
seen some like
I'm
not
sure
not
things
that
happen.
Dude,
much
I'll tell you
just
one
fisting
thing.
themselves.
I'll
but-
tell you one thing that's changed big time, and I don't know if I'm just getting lucky or whatever. Bro, the amount of times I used to get cell phone tickets was nuts. I would get like one cell phone ticket when I was driving a month, easily.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a cell phone ticket since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if the cops just don't care anymore, or maybe I'm not on my phone like that anymore. But I've noticed, I'm like, oh, I guess that's just such a minor thing. Like, I don't want to deal with the
They're
paperwork.
dealing
of
with
that.
shoplifting. There's so much. I mean,
There's so much going on now.
At CVS, I think it was like 2 years ago, like right when the shoplifting was really bad. I was walking out and literally like 4 guys in masks ran right in
I
and
believe
like
that. Oh,
grabbed shit and then ran
Dude,
right
the
out.
CVS
Crazy.
is now, it's like it takes me an hour to get toothpaste because I have to
gotta
ring
press
the
the button.
bell
Yeah.
and all that. But when I was in Virginia, CVS is wide open. They don't have anything behind it because the owners have guns.
Besides the Sudafed.
Yeah.
That's what meth.
Wait, but the guy who said was homeless, who was fingering his ass, didn't you say that he also dresses like a businessman? And so was that just his
there
thing?
was a time I wish I could find it. There was a time where there was like a Fox 5 like street like newscast going on, and he was in the back doing like the Starbucks thing, like it was like on the
Wow.
camera, and then he got arrested for that.
He's definitely an Opie and Anthony fan.
Well, wait, but did you send me that article? You sent me an article.
I sent
A New York Post article.
oh that one was the guy that had the camera boots.
Okay, yeah.
Article.
Hold
That
on.
was
I'm
another
going to
sick
send this to
fuck.
you now. I'm going to send this one to you now.
So when that guy's fingering his ass also, do you have to videotape that as evidence, or is your...
If you can do that and get
Okay.
that, it's great.
Yeah, so
It's
but
great.
Otherwise your eyewitness stands
yeah, your
up?
testimony
Okay.
stands up, you know.
Oh,
But
wait.
early, this is, I mean, I was a cop. I was 22 years old when I started, so like this is a while where
Damn.
cell phone cameras weren't
Right,
like, great
right.
like that, you know.
Yeah.
But as the time went on, yeah, you would definitely film it.
Here we go.
'Cause then
And
you
I-
lock it in.
Here, and real quick, I have just to zoom in. I have a picture of the shorts. I have a picture of the shorts that we could this, and then we'll move on. But this was ass twisty
Holy
guy.
shit. Oh, I remember
This-
you sending me this.
This was the shorts because somebody. I have this picture because when Mike
Like
asked
I
me
had
what,
to take that for the district
Yeah.
attorney
Yeah.
to understand like what.
It's also like not a bad cutting job because he didn't do it like all the way to the top. He
Right.
did it right to the middle to where you're like, oh, are those actually just high
Yeah.
shorts? Or like, what's going on?
and then because Mike had asked me what I wanted to be for Halloween this year. It was this. So that's that guy. So then we have a New York. There's a New York Post article. The title is "Upskirt Video Perv Exposed." Now this was in the New York Post, written all about it. Chris was one of the arresting officers. So tell us about this one.
This one was
This
good.
is a sick one.
This is sick. So we were in Union Square for pickpockets again. We're always out for pickpockets.
Right.
The main thing. But again, you come up to this. So this guy, I'm like, I call my boy. I'm like, my boy Sal. I'm like, you know Sal.
I know Sal.
I'm like, this guy is. I think he's a pickpocket. He's doing something
Look at this.
like it.
Oh, sorry, the Chinese.
There goes the laundry guy.
That's the laundry guy.
That's my guy too.
Is he?
Yeah.
That guy is sick. Should we get him on the pod?
Yo, he's awesome.
He won't. He never wants to come on the pod. Oh, look, he's running away with the bag.
He doesn't walk. He runs.
He runs, dude.
He
Holy
slams
shit.
down the hallway like
His,
building.
what are these delts?
Delts are jacked.
They are huge.
Bro, he carries laundry all
Yeah, he's
day.
literally
Laundry.
just doing
He's
rows
jacked, bro.
all day.
He's sick, bro. He'll pop his head into that window at like 2 o'clock in the morning for your laundry. There he is. He's a great guy.
Great
He
guy.
doesn't speak a word of English.
Great guy.
Last time you invited him on, he
He wouldn't come on.
No
He's like, oh, no,
business,
no,
yeah.
no. I was like, I'll give you $20, $20.
He's
No,
the
no, no.
quickest laundry guy you can imagine. He's
John
brilliant.
offered him a fish from Central Park. He still wouldn't take it. All right, so go ahead.
So this guy, it was like it was the farmers market day.
Okay.
It was like Wednesdays and Fridays, whatever it was. So it was always very busy down there, a lot of action.
This is Union Square.
Union Square.
Okay.
And this guy is like real close to people like over and over and over again. And I'm like, damn, like I don't know. He's not touching anything. He's not grabbing. He's not reaching. He's just kind of standing there like being behind people. Now I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, every person he's going behind's got a skirt on.
Interesting.
Okay, now this is something's going on here, right?
Right.
I don't know what it is. And so we're following him. It's like 5 different people, 6 different people. So I call my boss. He's like, he's got something. Let's just see. You used to be able to kind of, if you felt like something was going on, you could kind of stop people, not like cuff them or anything like that.
Right.
Just kind of maybe, hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Right.
Once we went to do that, he like bolted and started fighting out of nowhere. So like something was going on. So when now we're in a fight with the guy, and then like we're taking him down, and I'm feeling all this like weird shit like in his arm and his pants, and I'm like, what the fuck is all this? And he was wired up.
Oh my
from
God.
his feet on both boots, up his legs. He had 2 receivers in his pocket, on each pocket, with wires going thing. What he was doing was going behind every woman with a skirt on, and he had boot cameras, and he was
Wow.
filming up their skirt with boot cameras.
That's brilliant.
Wow. I know. I was going to say, I smell a new Patreon.
He went on to invent the Ring camera.
It was literally little like
So he's snapping photos or
no,
videos?
he was filming.
So he would walk up,
Wow.
so a girl's standing there in her skirt, right up her skirt.
Girls buying bread from the farmer's market, and he's just standing behind
Were
there.
part of you
HD?
scared? I mean, did you think he had a bomb?
I swear to God, that was one of the like we didn't know.
Yeah.
because I've never seen anything like that before. It was this is like 08 or 09, whatever. 09.
09.
So like this is kind of like new tech back
Yeah,
then,
dude.
and you couldn't see it in the boots, but you could see it when we finally figured out everything that was going on, and then we had to go. It got really weird because like we arrested him. Obviously, it's like felony. It's like unlawful surveillance.
Yeah.
All these charges.
So this is way bigger deal than the public lewdness.
Yeah. This is a big one. So I had to then you have to go like when you arrest somebody, especially for a felony, you have to go to the grand jury. But like prior to that, you have to get all the evidence ready. So me and my boy got
It's a
called.
process.
It's a process. So we got called down. He was arrested. He was in. They held him on bail. He had priors for similar.
So he did not get out the next
No,
day.
he had like priors for similar weird shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So we get called down there. We go in. They bring us to like this room with the district attorney, like the supervisor, and she's like, "Look, she's like, I know this is gonna be kind of disgusting." She's like, "But you guys have to like go through like all these videos and make each one an in particular piece of evidence."
But how could you even tell who it is? I mean,
You
it's-
couldn't. But they
Right.
were gonna charge him. So basically, every new vagina, a new butt, we had to like clip it. And make that a new.
You're the
victim.
original homeless pimp.
Yeah. It'd be so funny. It'd be so funny if, like, you're looking through like 30 of these skirts, whatever. It's all pussies, butts, and then one dick and balls.
There's no.
You're like, oh, whoa.
Followed by like a Matt Rife clip, then back to
Guys, you know me. I'm an alcoholic, so I loved wine almost too much, but the thing I didn't care for it was sometimes it was a bit too sweet. Sometimes the next day I would wake up as if my brain was split open by a rail spike. And then other times I would go full white woman and try to be speaking to people in a social manner, but have full grape-stained teeth like a maniac. And they'd know right away not to trust me. That, guys, that's not going to happen when you sign up for Naked Wines. That's why I love our next sponsor, Naked Wines. That's the verbiage I should use. Want to be the most interesting person at the party? Lord knows I do, and often fall short. With our next partner, you can bring the best, most interesting wine from an independent winemaker with a truly unique story. Have you ever wanted to learn about wine but can't figure out where to start? I do. I want to be interesting. I want to be cultured. Or when you do start, it just feels like too much. Our next partner, Naked Wines, has changed the game for learning about wine without having to take a whole class about it. Guys, Naked Wines is a subscription service that directly connects you to the world's finest independent winemakers so you can get award-winning wine delivered straight to your door. Naked Wines believes that great wine is an experience, and they're right. Look at LeBron James. When I see the basketball players, like, talk hoops at a level that I couldn't possibly comprehend and sniff, a cajillion a glass wine, I'm like, man, I wish I was sophisticated. But guys, wine is a great experience, and they're all about helping you connect with your friends, family, and community over a shared bottle of wine. That's Naked Wines. Turn off the noise of the outside world and uncork a bottle to celebrate the little joys in life. It's great, guys. Naked Wines has been around for over 15 years and funds over 90 independent winemakers around the world. So you're actually doing a good thing by supporting small business. All you got to do, you can pause this at any time, by the way, not the advertisement, but your subscription in Naked Wines. It comes to you. It's the Netflix of sophisticated wine. I mean, that's without charge. You could keep that, Naked Wines. So join the Naked Wines community and head to nakedwines.com/chaos. That's nakedwines.com/chaos for 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's nakedwines.com/chaos for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99. And guys, that's unbelievable. So enjoy. Be sophisticated. You know us here at Chrissy Chaos. We are constantly looking for ways to eat healthier. We're almost obsessive about it. I've tried meal kits. None of them have really worked. They're either a bit more difficult than I anticipated, or the food just isn't high enough quality, or it just doesn't taste good. All that stuff. That's no longer the case now with Marley Spoon, because this podcast, today's episode in particular, is sponsored by Marley Spoon. Marley Spoon knows bland food is boring, so they created the best tasting meal kit money can buy, and with code CHAOS you can get up to 25 free meals. With Marley Spoon, you can choose from over 100 delicious recipes every week, from Cajun spiced chicken to poached salmon to butternut squash gnocchi to a vegan burrito bowl. I mean, that's unbelievable. This is like, everything you could possibly want in a menu. Now it's healthy. Now it's prepackaged for you. Now you can go out and pretend you're a chef afterwards. What's better than that? Many of the recipes are completely customizable, whether you're looking for vegetarian meals, family-friendly dishes, or low-carb options. Marley Spoon has the food you want to eat. Even has an in-house registered dietitian who actually assesses every recipe, so it takes the guesswork out of eating healthy. Perfect for somebody like me who does not want to do anything. No research, no looking into anything. If you could gift wrap me something healthy to eat, maybe I'll change my life. Marley Spoon also saves you from making that extra grocery haul with their online market of pantry essentials. You can shop their selection of 125 plus items like seasonal produce, ready-to-heat options, meal shortcuts, extra proteins, and handy snacks, and easily add them to your next box. With meal planning and food shopping taken care of, making delicious food at home has finally become effortless. Plus, with Marley Spoon, you aren't locked in long term. Marley Spoon's flexible subscription allows you to edit, pause, or cancel your boxes anytime. So experience the most personalized meal kit today with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/chaos and use code CHAOS. There's children in here. That's right, up to get 25 free meals. That's right, up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. One last time, that's marleyspoon.com, marleyspoon.com/offer, OFFER, /chaos, for up to 25 free meals. And make sure, again, use promo code CHAOS so they know we sent you. Back to the show.
What got really creepy though, for me in particular, I was the one that, it was my arrest, so I had to testify in front of a grand jury where there's like people from Manhattan are in there sitting in the grand jury at jury duty.
Wow.
I had to get up on like the stand, swear in, and now go through. I think they charged me like 18 counts. I had to play 18 different videos of girls and had to explain. So, okay, as you can see here, she's walking.
Not blurred out. You have to show the full unedited video.
You didn't see their faces because it was underneath. So, but you had to explain, like, okay, so officer, what do you see here? Well, here you can see this woman does not have any underwear on, exposing her vagina and her anus. That's one count. Boom, the next one, the next one. This one you can see, you know, underwear or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. So it was.
But not one victim attached because you don't know who these women are.
We didn't have any victims. No, we didn't have any victims. So and like, I remember looking into the crowd of the grand jury, and there was like old people there that were going like this, like they couldn't even believe like what was going on with this guy. Like who would even think that people would do that? You know?
Could do well? So that. You know, like all these videos and whatever, then like a guy like this, because to me, it's like a guy like this, like he gets arrested, like he will absolutely do this again. If you're sick enough to have, because you think he was selling them or this for own personal use?
I don't know. I didn't know like the game back then like that. So he might have been on like the dark web or whatever the fuck it is. But like also when we were going through, so we got to get a warrant.
I'll send you a picture of his boots, John.
We had to get a warrant for the video. You can't just go through someone's video. You have to get a warrant. He would set up in stores, in like Macy's changing rooms, also would set up cameras and shit like that. So all that was like, they did like a deeper dive into him, but it was like over my head at that point.
It's dead. That shit is serious. That's like where the Aaron Andrews case.
Yeah, so here are the boots right here. Paul, what size are you?
Oh, all this talk about sex crimes, I realize I have to cancel a meeting with our manager.
Do you have oh really? Right now? Oh, great. So these boots. So as you can see right here, we got these boots, which I'm almost positive, Chris. I've been out. You have those. You got those. Those actually wouldn't look bad with some nice.
I think they're lugs.
I would say
old school lugs.
Old school lugs with some nice Kith jeans. So the receiver. What is that receiver then? So what is it?
They were like that was like the monitor. That was like the recording piece that was connected to the boot. The cameras. I don't know if you really can't see what. I think they're in the tongue. Yeah, they're in the tongue. Like in the middle of the tongue is where the camera's like, yep, right there.
So there might be a girl listening to this podcast right now doesn't even know that she was a victim 12.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Bro, so that's the thing is like in a big city like this, like and I'm sure now, this was, 15 years ago, it's gotten even sicker. There's a guy who's even sicker doing something even sicker.
I mean, I'm sure the camera systems are even crazier now too.
Wow.
You use drones now, look in people's windows. There's a million things you can do.
What about, there was also, so those are the sex crimes. There was a story you told me once of a sick one. This is why you always got to be careful who you DM and respond. The guy, remember that guy from London who was a thief but was exploiting?
Yes.
Can you talk about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is another sick one. This is why when you guys want to get out there and start like messaging random people on the internet, this is what can happen.
So that one, there was a guy, he was like a prolific guy. I don't know what he was.
Wealthy guy. He traveled for work and I think he got on, this is like when Tinder was like new. Mm-hmm. So he gets on Tinder and he's making like this arrangement with a girl, whatever, sending pictures back and forth, sends a dick pic with face. Never do that.
So they figure out somehow, I don't know if his email was attached to I don't know what they did. The scammers figured out there was no girl, by the way. He wasn't talking to a girl.
That's what I'm saying. It was someone posing as a girl, but it was not a girl. So
they find out who the guy is. He's prolific. He's got, you can Google
if it would have just sent his dick, they would have had no idea who he was.
I think his email was attached to something.
Oh, right.
So they get him, and now they send him a thing, say, hey, this is what it is. We're going to send, because now they Googled him. Now they have his wife's name, the kids. They're like, here's your kids. They go to this school, college. This is your wife's email address. We're going to send her this picture. If you don't come to Brooklyn and give us $700, it was like $700 they had him do.
That's all?
$700. But that was the first step. He did it.
That's why it was a low extortion amount of $700 because they want to say, if we can get this guy to do it once, we got him.
You're on the hook. That's like what Conor McGregor said about the Irish mafia. They were like, we're going to kill you. You owe us this. He's like, if I pay you once, I work for you for the rest of my life.
So I'm never paying you.
Now they own you. Now they own you.
All right, so he pays the $700.
Pays the whatever the money is. And so then, now they got him. Like I said, they own him. They're like, okay, here's the next step. And now they're like, you got to give, it was like $1,800 the second time. And then he like panicked and like went to the police. It got to our office somehow, some way. Like, we need you guys to do like a full like setup sting. It was in Washington Square Park. Mm-hmm. I remember I was actually texting you guys. I'm like, yo, this thing is so sick right now, what we're doing.
I was handing out flyers for the Comedy Cellar.
Because he was right there. So we're like, I'm like, this is like a movie. So like what the guy was doing was like, they would have, okay, so you're going to go stand under the arch. So like we were all over the park. Mm-hmm. The perp, we didn't know. So we were just all over the park. Like,
and where was the guy situated, where they told him to be?
We had him go. We had him do everything exact. So we had him go. He stood in the arch. We were there. All of us were there. Blah, blah, blah.
But by the way, you're like, it's like in a movie. You're just standing there. You're making believe you're reading the newspaper.
Hanging out. Yeah, chilling.
You're not cops at all.
No, you're talking to your boy.
Is that, let me ask you, as doing that, is that is that harder than it looks to just kind of blend in, or is that pretty easy just to blend in?
I mean, I was so used to it at that point, so like I could just do it. It was like I wasn't at work.
Like you don't look like a cop at all.
Especially then, I had long, I had the long hair.
Looks
The beard
even
then.
skellier back then than you do now.
But so we were just in the park, and our team was really good. Our whole team was great, and everyone was knew exactly what they do. So we did that. Then what they did is they moved them a couple times, the perp, because they wanted to see if
because they're thinking, are the cops involved too?
So, but you now can't move with them. That's why you needed a lot of guys to be able to like, okay, he goes, the next team picks him up.
But how are you like silently somehow radioing? There's another team.
We have radios with like little earpieces, but you don't even need that. You could just do a text was around the time, so you put like a big group text together, and like he's moving this way, whatever. So like the group that had him first, they stayed chill on the bench, what they were doing, didn't move. So they got comfortable. They moved him twice, and then eventually they were like put the money in a mailbox. It was one of those. It was actually the block of, remember I Am Legend? Where he lived during I Am Legend. It was that block.
Oh, wow.
And so he had him put it in one of those mailboxes, and we actually had him put it, and we had him walk off. We stayed with him, walk off, gone, and then you just wait.
And how long from when they put it in the mailbox to those guys showed up?
Like 10 minutes. I remember I saw a guy. And
Were you the one watching the mailbox?
A bunch of us were, but I saw a guy that I'm like, it doesn't look right. It was kind of like a hipster looking dude. I'm like, he was kind of there the whole time, and it was on a laptop. And I remember telling someone like, yo, this might be the guy, whatever it was. Sure as shit, that guy gets up and goes to the mailbox and fucking gets it.
So as soon as he gets it, all of them.
Yeah, we grabbed him.
Did he try to resist?
No.
What? Just right away?
He was from London. The guy.
Wow.
That was in the news too. That was in the paper. I don't remember what it was called. Whatever. That was in the paper because he came out of court. They like the news followed it like a couple of days. It was like a big story for the fucking poor guy. Now it's like this big story, but they didn't put his name.
But the guy, I wonder, did the guy ever get caught by his wife?
I don't know. Once it goes past like that initial arrest and like the little court stuff, I'm not involved with it anymore.
So why were they following this guy? Like
because it was like a cool, interesting story. So like the Post picked it up, and then so they were outside of court when he got arraigned. He came out with his lawyer, and he was putting his middle fingers up to the camera.
Wow.
There's a picture of him like on the Post.
Can we find that?
Dude, that's
man.
It's tough. It's tough to
That'd
find.
be tough to find. I don't know how you'd find
That's
it.
also unreal to come to this country and then immediately like
who
do
knows how
a
many people-
complicated grift like that. Like,
I'm sure he did it before. It was good. It was
You
good.
think he gets deported for that?
I think he did actually.
Now
I
he's
think
back in London, probably doing the same thing.
I think he did. He looked like he was like a cool like hipster kind of guy. Like he looked like he could have worked in like a cool coffee shop kind of dude. Like dressed nice, cool tattoos.
He could have been wanted for the same shit back at home.
So he gets all this money. Does the victim ever get the money back? No, right?
No, I don't think he got back the initial 700, but he never like they put the money in the mailbox and everything. It was real. They put the money, like real money, real in the mailbox. But the guy never got it because we were there.
But how could you put money in a mailbox? How would the guy get the money if it was in the mailbox?
He was there.
But I'm saying, like, you put it, like, he dropped it into a U.S. blue mailbox?
No, like the apartment.
Oh, apartment
There was
mailbox.
those townhouses.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like wow. And then so arrested, and then like when somebody gets arrested like that, like are they saying anything, or he says nothing and just deals with it?
He pretended like he didn't know what was going on.
He was like, "What do you mean?"
Because like, who would really figure that out?
What do you mean, Spikey? This is Bolex.
No, this is my mailbox, I thought.
No, but like, if you were like a perp from London, would you ever think that there was this setup like that?
No.
No.
Like that deeply.
Over 1,500
right.
too.
No, you
Yeah.
wouldn't. You would never think that. So you're shocked. You're like, how the fuck did I get caught? You know?
That's wild.
Yeah, because I remember when you were working, you were always involved too, and like I remember there was one time I forgot, like you were like in the Bronx or something like that, and it was like, was it girls who would like get guys back to their room and then rob their jewelry?
No, that was one. Yeah, that was one. They would go to like the clubs and get like ball players to come back with them, or they were hot. They would go get like the cool NBA players from the club, like One Oak, those places.
Yeah.
They'd go back to their apartment with them. They'd drug them and they'd fucking rob their
It's like
shit.
the J-Lo stripper movie.
Yeah, that
So
happens all the time.
you would do that, and you would be responsible for that. Like you would have.
I would
to,
follow them after sometimes,
And then,
like,
yeah.
to try to like get DNA.
So
or
that falls under pickpocketing?
No, the unit kind of
Gotcha.
became like a surveillance.
So would you I mean, like, whatever, you're retired now. Like when you're in we're all in our mid-20s, whatever. When they have you like, hey, Chris, you got to go out to a nightclub and hang out and watch for this. Are you drinking? Are you doing anything?
No,
you can't really at all.
No, you got to pretend. Like, so when you would go,
But that's what I'm saying. Part of blending in is having a drink.
No, you would pretend like if we go to One Oak, we would pretend the
Get a
owner,
club soda.
The owner would know.
Got it.
Like the club owner would know that we were going to be in there because they were getting crushed. We had like pickpockets would crush the clubs.
Right.
Because everyone leaves their shit,
Yeah,
and it's,
yeah.
forget it. And like, they're stealing your credit card, and while you're in the club drinking, hanging out, they're fucking burning the cards,
Right.
spending all, thousands of dollars. Now for the club, that looks horrible for the club because they're gonna say, well, where were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was at One Oak.
Right.
And then now that club's gonna get looked at.
Right.
Lose your liquor license. There's a million things that could happen from it. So they want it to get.
So what would they do? Just give you fake alcohol?
Yeah, they'll
So-
give us club soda. Give us a club soda.
Blend in.
Dykes, whatever it may be, and just
Yeah,
kinda get in there.
you make it believe you're having sex with someone in the bathroom. You gotta blend in, dude.
It's for the gig. What did you guys have to like? Did you run into any of those RFID readers or anything like that? Like, was that when you were a cop? Because they have those Ridge wallets or wallets that block that.
Something like that. Not the RFID, that was a little after that, but like what we would get a lot was, and this is another thing that we would do, was they would put like a fake ATM machine over, they would make it exact.
Oh, yeah.
They would make it exact, like the ATM machine. You dip your card in, it's still gonna work, it's gonna get money out still, but the reader is on top of the actual reader.
Right.
So now you dip it in, boom, get your money out, you leave, you have no idea. Now they have your PIN number because they have a camera
Yeah.
in it. Now they have your PIN number and your fucking card number.
crazy.
And you could just make a credit card with a magnetic strip. Any magnetic strip, you could just get a reader on Amazon.
They were doing that at gas stations too. I
Huge,
remember. Yeah.
Huge
yeah.
gas stations.
Well, see, it's good to have a friend who's a former cop because there's a lot of things that like you don't even think of, and you're like, wow. Like I remember when the first time he came to my house in Staten Island, he was like, "There's so many points of entry in this house. You got to put alarms everywhere." And I had felt so safe. And then that night I was like, "I'm getting a gun. I'm getting a machete." But I put alarms everywhere because he's like, because he just has seen it so much. There's so many things that we're not even thinking of at all that boom happens.
100%.
So it's good. It's good to know. And so now, Chris, you also are a guy, again, great cop stories, but also conspiracy stories. So do you have any have any latest conspiracy, anything going on? Is Kamala a man too? What are we doing? Yeah.
It's so crazy right now that I can't even keep up. I don't know if
Right.
I know
Oh
you
yeah.
kind
Wait,
of
this is where we bonded.
Well, no,
Yeah.
the sick one he told me, I spoke about it a little bit on Rogan, but the source here is how Trump had presidential security, has had top presidential security this whole time he's been out of office, which no president ever has.
Right, which is weird. Well, it didn't really work the last weekend, but so something went wrong there. But
Yeah.
the way he travels, I've seen ex-presidents travel in New York City. I've happened to see it, walk into it, whatever. It's usually like a couple cars of Secret Service, like 2 NYPD cars, whatever it may be, and that's kind of it. Trump never stopped moving with fucking 20, if you see him 20, 30 motorcycles still, ambulance in the group. Like he traveled this entire time as if he was still the president.
I mean, turns out good idea.
And right. Well, now there was a breakdown somewhere here, but it didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I've never seen an ex-president travel that way. I don't know if you know.
So you don't have
No, it also, I mean, that whole thing didn't make sense.
No.
As soon as you watch it, it's like what is it? There's so many opportunities
Right.
at him. There's so many hefty Pennsylvanians pointing to the guy
Right.
scrambling up to the
Dude,
roof.
and you know what is one sick thing about being a cop friend, who, again, won't name any names, but literally within 20 minutes of Trump getting shot at, Chris had a picture of the shooter's head blown off right in our phones. Right. The actual shooter, before they even had a name or a face, I saw his head exploded all over the thing. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean,
wow. And it is that, it's that kid.
That kid was at my show the other night.
100%.
He was
100%. I was like, this kid's got to be on the Patreon. So
it makes no sense if you look at the one thing that you had to cover wasn't covered.
Totally.
It's
I
like,
mean,
what?
and not to mention, it took a while. They let him stand up at the point in which he was shot. They didn't usher him off stage. They didn't immediately. They let him stand up and pump his fist. Like that to me is just like, were you given another crack at it?
Right.
What is it?
So you now, Mike, think honestly this was inside government. This was inside government allowed.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where and Rogan talked about it. I'm not bringing anything new, but it's like all of these things have been inside jobs in the past. Anytime that somebody has been tried to be offed, it's come from within.
Right.
So to have that much of a crazy breakdown in the lead up to this thing, which very clearly something had to give in that week of Biden either dropping out or this or whatever. But it's just to have that massive of a breakdown, and it just seemed too oblivious and too inept.
I love the idea too of the president coming to New York and everybody having their jobs. Everybody having their jobs. They're like, all right, Detective Wilson, you're watching Rooftops, Detective Rodriguez, anyone gets close with a gun at all. Detective Calaviotis, you see anyone jerking off near that president, you jump in and
got him, sir.
Got him, sir. That's my duty.
On it.
So, yeah, because...
It's just Don Jr.
Yeah, rubbing his dick. Dude, he DM'd me the other day, Don Jr. I swear. Yeah, he just DM'd me. He's cool. No, just good work, good comedy. Like, I was like, hey,
Donnie.
Donnie, love you, bro. And but because you, honestly, as like an officer, like, the thing is, like, once the president comes to New York or any city, you really feel like you guys have every inch covered, where it almost, if they're going to get an assassination attempt off in this country, it almost has to be someone from within.
In New York City, if the president is moving, you can't walk.
Yeah.
The entire route from start to finish. You can't. You guys are from here.
Yeah.
If you're in the city, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right. You can't drive. You can't walk.
No.
So every roof's covered. And this is it's like you said, it's such a monumental breakdown that doesn't even seem possible to happen by accident.
Well, and of course, I'm falling for every bit of propaganda too, because there's TikToks from like ex-Secret Service who may have never been Secret Service.
Right.
I don't check credentials, but what they're saying seems right, where they're like, he stood up in the same place he was shot.
Yeah.
And they left his head uncovered long enough for him to pump his fist and rally the crowd and get this unbelievable photo op. It's like, so what is it? Like, what was it? And now they're not sure if a bullet hit him or if it was shrapnel, and there's all this different information. It's crazy.
At that point, it was so fresh, you wouldn't even know if there was more things out there still. Like,
Well, that's what I love that, because that's what conspiracy theorists call like soft ground. So all of this information is coming up, and it's so fertile that anything could be set off and believed. And they're like, just stay vigilant. This is all the conspiracy theorists I follow. Stay vigilant. Make sure you're not, the information is cross-verified, etc. But it's wild.
And then go to the picture I just sent you. And then this is the best picture to the group chat. Moments after the show, little Debo posts, "Let's go Mets," with Trump bleeding all over his face and the American flag. Perfect. I mean, literally, Josh
amazing.
Cohen, the owners of the Mets' son, texted me. He was like, "Take that down." Even he was like, and then Debo doubled down. He put Grimace in it.
That's so good. Yeah, and John just did the Photoshop to get back at them.
By the way, speaking of Grimace, I'm throwing out the first pitch tomorrow in Chicago at the Chicago White Sox game, and Delilah's coming with me. It's just her and I, and she goes, "Is Grimace going to be there?" Because she's Mets, and I said, "Nah, Grimace only does the Mets," and she was like, "I hate baseball," because she just wants these kids. Delilah, by the way, told me, she goes, "I want to go to a Yankee game." I said, "Why?" She was like, "Because I heard that if you get hit by a pitch at Yankee Stadium, if you get hit by a foul ball at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees will give you a free bat." I'm like, "So I could just buy you a bat." She's like, "Wants to get hit by a ball," so. But we shall see. Well, who's this? Oh, there's Vito up there.
Vito,
By the way, this whole Grimace mania with the Mets, Vito is the sole person responsible for creating all this. Vito, by the way, texted me. Shout out Vito. He'll be back next week. Vito texted me. His wife, and they're in Greece. They booked a photo shoot. Vito was wearing like Gucci slippers, like whatever. They had to hike 800 feet up a mountain in the middle of the day in Greece. He said he's covered in sweat through like a linen suit. He had no idea that it was going to be at the top of a mountain. Fucking idiot. All right, you know what's another thing? We'll get to this. We'll get to a voicemail. But another good thing about Chris is, in addition to all this, great stories, he also owns, is co-owner of a spin studio in Forest Hills called Spin FH. And what's great about it and unique about it is not only is it great classes, great instructors. Jasmine is actually an instructor at Spin FH. It's a great gym, but he has certain classes that are actually kind of mirrored off some of his sex crimes. So if you want to take the asshole twist one, they turn the bike seats into twirly fingers. You jump on that. Then he's got ones, the pedals have video cameras on them, so you can see your nuts going. No, but it is great. Take either Jasmine's class or take Nick's class.
You got Nick. You got Nick from Soul Cycle. We got Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Look at her Instagram,
Jazzy.
bike tricks.
Yes.
Then you got Dorota, who's 9 months pregnant, still teaching.
Still doing it.
We should do a Patreon while we do a class.
That's what I said. We should do one.
Me and Chris and I work out there with our trainer Harold. Hardcore Harold. Every
There's the crew
Tuesday
right
and
there.
Thursday. There it is.
Look at those handsome people.
Look at those beautiful. And I was actually sitting in the background, my head. I thought, because I kept ruining the shots.
Off the mirror.
Yeah. And yeah. So we got everyone. You'll see our boy Debo at Nick's class. And you'll see
Slick
why.
Nick.
Slick Nick. And yeah, go check out Spin FH if you're looking for it's. Listen,
Spin
you got
Forest
people
Hills on Instagram.
Spin Forest Hills on Instagram. You got people coming from Long Island. A lot of these instructors are from the city. So so it's John's girlfriend took a class there.
Oh, really?
John's girlfriend
Nice.
took a class.
Yeah.
Is she a member now?
I don't know. But
Was
she's-
it- Sign her up!
She's going
Was
next
it
week.
in
Randomly,
ESL
or she
spin
knew?
class?
No, she went to Jazz's.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So Jazz is back. She's back spinning. So here, let's take a voicemail. What is the voicemail got anything to do with sex crimes?
It does not. But it's
All right. Well, we'll make it. We'll. By the way, if you want to get involved in the show, 347-343-3321, 347-343-3321. Leave a voicemail.
What's up, guys? Congratulations, Mike, on having your second soon.
Thanks, bro.
I love the POW segment and parent talks. I'm 26, just had my first daughter. She's 3 months old now. Definitely been life-changing. Wanted to ask when things got easier for you guys and how to adapt to the new parent life, especially in terms of family and social life. Since I've had almost none of that since New Year's. Thanks, guys. Also, bring back calling Jasmine Vinny. Thanks.
Got it. So what? Go ahead, take it, Mike.
He said, how long did it take you to adjust to normal life?
After the second kid,
After any kid.
I got to be honest with you. Chris also has 2 kids. I personally think now I have, 13-year-old stepson. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and my little one is 3. I kind of feel like now is starting to finally, after when she's turning 3, it's getting, I mean, still, she won't just sit there at a restaurant yet, but like no more diapers. We're
Yeah.
done with diapers.
That's huge.
We're done with bottles of milk. We're done with that. She can sleep in her own bed. It's still like a little bit of like a fight to get her to sleep or whatever, but I do feel like if you told me you're going to take your family on a trip across the country now, it would be hard, but nowhere near as hard as it was a year ago. I feel
Right.
like I'm at 3 years old, I think is like, it just kind of gets easier from here.
Well, that's the thing you don't want to hear is that like you get it back after years, like
Right.
get it back of what it was, but you get pieces of it back at a time. So it's like eventually you can kind of go outside with them after a few
Right.
months and all that stuff. But Chris is right. Like if you're still doing diapers, feedings by time and not by just need, then all of that shit, like you're still a slave to the baby.
There's
They
no way around
dictate
this.
your
There's no way
schedule.
around this, and Mike knows this. And if you're, I don't know if this guy's saying, is he having a kid? Is he having one
He
on the
had
way?
one,
Oh,
3
she's
months
3 months
old.
old.
Yeah.
So you're still kind of in the thick of it, but you just have one kid. When you have one kid, it's almost, to be honest, if you have one kid, it's almost like you have no kids. Like, just shut up, it's one kid. It's
easy.
When you have multiple children, because what's going to happen, and I've told Mike about this, Crew is 5.
Five,
Just
just
was at
turned
his
5,
birthday,
yeah.
5. So what's going to happen is your new son is going to need all the attention. Of course, he needs it. But Crew doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
So if it's just one baby, when that little baby cries, it needs its diaper change, you just focus on that baby. It's simple. But what's going to happen is when you start to focus on that baby because they need their diaper change or need to eat, Crew's just going to be like, why are you not looking at me? And then
Yeah.
Crew is going to go into a second or third gear of like wanting everything, wanting to go crazy,
Yeah.
crying, hitting. And so you just have to deal with that. So what we try to do with Jazz, and that's why Jazz is like a great mom, but she knew instinctively, which I didn't realize until I went through it, was she would give, like when the baby, like unless it was an emergency, but when Violet was a baby and like just needed to cry a little bit, was crying because like, she was a little hungry or whatever, Delilah would start to like freak out and be like, mommy, but look at me. You give Delilah 5 minutes because the baby will be fine. You give Delilah just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, honey, like I just have to change the baby.
Yeah.
And it's way less of an impact as opposed to, Delilah, stop everything you're doing. I don't care
Yes.
about you right now. Your sister needs my full attention. That doesn't work.
That was my entire childhood
Yeah.
was, hey, stop being alive.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay attention to the more important members of our family. But it's like that's great advice. And also, advice that I've gotten from other people with second kid is like, involve your son. Involve him in the process of like, give him tasks. Don't make it feel like it's just outside of him and it's a new
Right.
family and he's kind of just watching from the window outside.
Right.
It's like, involve him. And I'm also trying to do that thing where I'm like, hey man, we're going to be partners for like a couple months. It's
Right.
going to be me and you. Your mom's going to be a single mom with this
Right.
brand new baby.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a single
Yeah.
dad with you. And there's going to be a lot of kind of Tetrising schedules and shit.
Right.
But it's going to be great. You and I are going to get really tight and we're going to be, we're going to have a lot to do together. And from that, because the other day I was like, you feeling good? You feeling excited? He goes, I'm mad. And I go, what are you mad about? He's like, the baby's going to get a lot of attention. He's like, everything's going to change. I'm like, you're fucking 5? I was like, would you just take mushrooms today? But he just like, he has a real grasp of it. And I was like, you're right, dude. Everything is going to change, but change is good. It's a positive thing. We're going to be a squad. This is, this is the team. And I'm just trying to like motivate him as opposed to like scare the shit out of him. And hopefully that, I don't know, it's yet to be seen.
It's hard regardless.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
By the way, speaking of Parent of the Week, POW, this week I'm giving it to myself because I last minute, I have a show in Hammond, Indiana on Saturday, which is in the Chicago area, and I was just going to go by myself, whatever. And last minute, the Chicago White Sox asked me to throw out the first pitch at the game to get there a day early. So I told Jazz, I was like, I got to go to Chicago a day early to, basically have, what she's hearing is basically you're going to Chicago a day early and have fun without me and be alone in Chicago and throw out the first pitch. And, while I'm sitting here with the kids. So Parent of the Week, I'm giving it to myself because in that moment, when it was literally happening in real time. I'm like, oh, babe, I got, Chicago White Sox going to fly me out. I'm going to go. And I could just go a day early. I could just see her head just getting mad at her eyes, being like, you motherfucker. Like we had plans Friday night, like with the family. Yeah. I said, I'm going to do it all. But I'm thinking, what about me and Delilah?
Good
what
adjustment.
Which when I started that sentence, I wasn't even thinking about Delilah. But when I saw Jasmine's face turn, I was like, but what about Delilah and I going? And then it turned from anger to what a great dad you are, what a great person you are. And then I told Delilah we're going. She's so excited. And then within 5 minutes of her, her taking it in, she goes, I want first class tickets. I want to stay at a nice hotel. And I want to see if they have an American Girl doll store. So it's going to cost me more money to take her than if I took fucking Jazz.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but Parent of the Week, POW goes to me.
Can I add another one too?
Yes.
Parent of the Week goes to also Kevin Cannon, my father.
Love your dad.
And dude, I have not for a long time, but I'm coming back around to liking my father. But at my son's birthday party, and I told him this afterwards, he took the main beating from my father-in-law, Mario, who was just like on one. He was hammered from 11 a.m. on because, a 5-year-old has to celebrate. So he's, he's screaming Civil War. He's ready. He's wearing a patch over his ear, walking around before the party.
It's amazing.
The whole
thing. He really was. He had the American flag outside his house upside down.
Upside down since the attempt.
Yeah, since the attempt.
He's in it.
He thinks it's an inside job. Yeah, he's totally in it, which, me and him are screaming about the same things at this point. So Chris and I are talking, and at one point we both just kind of look over, and my father-in-law is screaming, waving his hand in my dad's face, and my dad is like this, just kind of taking it all in, listening. And my dad's a huge dude, so it's weird to see him kind of on the defensive. And then to get out of the conversation, he got up, put his plate of pie and ziti down, and then took off his shirt, jumped in the pool, and swallowed no less than 2 gallons of water.
When his dad jumped in the pool, I mean, first of all, he's a massive man, so he's just like, just jumps in the pool, and then he gets it, he's like, coughing all over Delilah. She was like, what's happening?
Dude, it was like a sea manatee that smokes cigars. Like just, and just every child was just terrified washing up on shore.
Go to patreon.com/Christy Comedy. We got a good episode. Is there anything, Chris, that you said that you think you could say on the Patreon, which is just for people who pay, it's like never get out, that you couldn't say on YouTube? We got anything?
I think we're good.
Yeah?
I can't think right now. I don't know.
He's lying. Go to patreon.com/Christy Comedy. We got juicy shit over there right now. ChristyComedy.com for all my stand-up dates. By the way, I will be going back on the road. I'm going to be doing comedy clubs, working on a new hour. So whatever city you're in, can you DM me and let me know? And, whoever gets like the most DMs of where they want to see me, I will go to that city. Mike?
Official announcement forthcoming, but my special is it looks like it's coming out mid-September, unless things change, probably on Chrissy's YouTube.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It looks like that. I mean, I'm just going to say it just to get the ball rolling.
I'm like the Biden staffers. I'm finding out
Here's the
through
thing.
Twitter that...
I don't even know it. I'm just kind of making the announcement.
Yeah.
So check that out. You already subscribed, but spread the word. It's a good one. And then, I got tour dates, Chicago, Nashville, Detroit, Las Vegas, and New York in October. I have a ton of new material, MikeCannonComedy.com for all that.
Yeah, and if you're going to, October, it's holiday season. Come, wear a big puffy jacket, get it sticky.
And glaze somebody up.
Spin Forest Hills on Instagram, right?
Spin Forest Hills on Instagram.
Goes to, and if you come certain classes, Chris will be there in the front checking you in. That's what it is, baby. Checking you in, making sure you got no cameras on your shoes, just getting, he'll be Chris there. Chris will be don't ask him to come behind the desk though, because he wears shorts with the ass out.
I have that guy's shorts too. I wear
yeah, you wore him to my pool party last year. All right, guys. Also, like and subscribe to youtube.com/ChrisDComedy. Turn on the post notifications. That really helps. And please share it with friends. That really, really helps. We like what we're doing here. So, peace.
Like to be Tom Segura.